purpose of meetings is to pull everyone together. Everyone needs to be involved in a touch point of some kind. And my thought about meetings is that we want to make sure that information, communication is flowing throughout the organization, from your most entry-level hire all the way up to the top boss in the organization. So we want everyone to have a touch point of some kind. Long time ago, I attended a little country church of about 200 people, not a large church. And one day they asked me if I would sit on the board. So I agreed. So I went to the first board meeting. It started at about 7 o'clock and it went till almost 10 o'clock. Now that's a long meeting for me, especially when there aren't big things to be decided. It's just little details of the running of the church. Next month rolled around, next board meeting. Well, that one went till 10:30. The next meeting went till almost midnight, and it was driving me a little bit crazy because I run meetings for a living, and that kind of a meeting is just way too much for me. Well, around that time, our chairman resigned, and they asked me if I would take over the chairman role, and I said, okay, I'll do it on one condition. And my condition is that our meetings will end by 9 o'clock. At least my meeting will end by 9 o'clock because I'm not going to stay around till midnight talking about the color of the carpet. I have found through my career that I've never been criticized for making a meeting too short, and there were no mutinies. Everyone agreed to that. Here's what we found. We fit all of our business beautifully into 2 hours. We had a great meeting. We were able to socialize after, and it worked a whole lot better just to have an end time to it. So the point really is that meetings will fill the time that you allot for them. So if you say, hey, we're going to do our meeting in 2 hours, it'll take 2 hours. If you say we're going to do our meeting in 90 minutes, it'll probably take 90 minutes. If you say we've got 4 hours, it'll probably take 4 hours. So try condensing it. Whatever your meeting time is now, say, let's cut it by 10%. Let's see if it hurts anything. If that doesn't hurt, cut it by 10% again and see if that works any better. I showed you this diagram a little bit earlier in the course, so let's go over it in a little bit more detail now. Let's start with that daily huddle. So you see, everyone is involved in a daily huddle. Everyone is going to just refocus, choose a priority, synergize for the day. If it's a shop floor, it's going to be a tool belt meeting, but everyone has a touch point to be in that daily huddle. Then we've got that weekly managers meeting where managers are solving operational and tactical issues. Then once a year, we have our annual planning and strategy meeting where we set goals for the year and we review our culture and all that sort of stuff. Then we have our town halls where it's information outgoing and everyone in the company gets to hear what's going on. And then every quarter, we come back and we revisit that annual planning event that we did. We look at all the goals that we laid out and we just say, are we on track to achieving them this year? Using this structure, everyone in the organization has a touch point, from your newest hire to your most senior executive. So let's say you've hired a summer worker. Well, they'll at least be involved in a daily huddle and in a town hall. And then look at your senior leaders. They'll be maybe involved in those things as well, but they'll also have strategy meetings and quarterly reviews. And there's room for everyone in between. So everyone is receiving communication. Everybody knows where we're going and what their role in our plan is. Of course, you need to customize the structure. For a large company, for a small company, but for the most part, it's the same structure. Now, depending on your industry, you're going to have additional things that you need to layer in there. Maybe you've got production meetings or things that are unique to your industry. And of course, you need to customize this structure so that it fits you. Maybe for you, a daily huddle is going to be better as a weekly huddle or 3 days a week huddle. You make those customizations so that the structure works perfectly in your setting. Here's what you learned in this module. You learned how all the meetings work together, and you learned how to customize a meeting rhythm that works for your organization.